All right. All right. What's going on, guys? It has been a little bit of time since I've done one of these. I've been working very hard. I've been shipping these out, all these books. There's literally about, I think there's about 20 to ship out. I got a stack of there, about 20 to ship out, and then they'll all be done. Some people have gotten their books already. Some people haven't gotten them yet. That's just how it goes with the shipping. Pre-orders were taken 3 months ago. I started shipping 6 weeks ago or something. So one-man band, just pumping them out. So, hopefully you'll get yours soon. And once again, thank you for everybody who has been buying those books. I really appreciate that. Some people have already finished the books. I've gotten many comments from people that said as soon as they got the book, they just locked themselves in a room from their family and just read the book page to page, and they loved it. They said it was the best book they've ever read on tinnitus. And if I'm honest, I agree. And the reason for that is that there's a reason. Nice to see you, brother. I'm so thankful for your advice. Salve from Brazil. You're welcome, my friend. Como está? I hope you speak Spanish in Brazil. I think you do. Is the book still available? Yeah, you can post, you can send me a message. Somebody wants to be in the video, so why don't we just bring them in and we'll see what they have to ask. Does that work? Accept. I'm trying to accept someone. If you guys want to do a live, if you guys want to come on. Okay, I don't think he actually wanted to be in the live stream. If anybody wants to come on and you have any questions about your tinnitus and you're happy for this video to be put public and for people to see your face and hear your questions, you can do that. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Hey, man. Hello. No. Okay, guys, just so you know, when you click the live button, you can actually come on live. It doesn't just mean follow the video. Anyway, so if you guys, for those of you who know how to use it, if you want to be in the video and you want to ask me questions for free, you can do it right now. You can talk to the world's, it sounds arrogant, but it's true, the world's #1 tinnitus expert with the most testimonials, easiest system, quickest results. I help millionaires, famous musicians, politicians, celebrities, poor people, people who used to be drug addicts, everything in between. You can get my advice for free right now. Okay, so the gentleman who came on live before but then left said, you should have stayed on live, man. I have a lot of good days, but still a lot of bad ones. Is this normal? Yeah, look, okay, so when you ask these kind of questions, I mean, I need to know more information. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. So it's normal and it's unnormal. So I don't know what you've been applying, what you've been doing, how long you've been doing it for, how consistent you've been, what caused your tinnitus, what medications you're on, how stressed you are, what your day looks like, what your job is, how much time you spend. Like, I don't know these things. So if you ask a question, I need a bit of background. What food should I be eating? I mean, I talk about that a lot. And the answer is mostly animal products. Where can I buy your book? Just send me a message. Can I get silent sleeping with a fan on? Yep, I don't see why that would matter. That's totally fine. I will tell you one thing though. I have a private group, and I launched it into an app called Tinnitus Pal. I have a private group on Telegram. If you want to pay to join that, it's just very cheap per month. Just send me a message. You can join. We talk every day. And I was talking to one of the members the other day about, he was explaining how he's in China at the moment and he's using a ceiling fan. Okay, someone sent a message to be in my live video. If you want to be in my, I'll tell you what, if you want to be live in the video and ask me questions, send a text here so you can say, hey, I want to be in the video, and then request, because 2 people have just dropped out. So what's the point in that? Yeah, so regarding fans, if you have a portable fan, like a fan that's like on the ground or on a stand, that's one of the worst culprits for EMF. Believe it or not, it's sometimes worse to computers, Wi-Fi routers. It's ridiculous. I've seen people test this with videos. They get a tri-field meter, and they test their computer, their phone, their AirPods, and they test portable fans, and the EMF is off the charts. It's incredibly toxic. It's unbelievable. Why that is, I'm not sure. Maybe it's the way it's manufactured. Maybe it's the wiring. Maybe there's a battery in there that's like used around the world. It's not cased properly. I don't know, but it is what it is. I've been using your light program. Fantastic. That's awesome. And how are you going with that? Any advice on how to get your bowels moving while in the carnivore diet? Yeah, so this is a good question. So first of all, let's understand something. When you eat food, like let's say you're eating a standard diet of carbohydrates, sweet potato, sorry, my neck is cactus at the moment. Sweet potato, bread, seeds, nuts, legumes, pasta, risotto, all that shit that's not even food. It's barely digestible. This plant products are barely digestible, so you're going to poo it out. You're going to poo it straight out, especially if it's like leafy greens, and especially if you're drinking coffee. When you start eating meat, you actually start to absorb all the nutrients. You can break through the cellular membrane. You can absorb everything inside the nutrients, like the minerals, some electrolytes, fat-soluble vitamins, the cholesterol, the fat, all the amazing stuff. You start to absorb it, so there's less to poo out. However, if you actually are genuinely constipated and you feel like you need to go, but you can't go, again, I'm not a gastroenterologist, but, you know, not that they ever helped me when I was young and sick anyway. But, you know, you can have more salt, drink a coffee, bring back some more plant products. That should help you go to the bathroom. No one should be going from one day to the next day, just eating a regular diet to then eating a carnivore diet. Also, barely anyone actually needs to eat only meat to get silence. It's not required. It's not required. People do it too fast, too extreme, and then, you know, unfortunately wonder why they get bad symptoms. I mean, come on. Great job you're doing, Liam. Salute from Florida. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Great. Does the book cover the entire protocol? Yeah, it does. It's pretty intense, actually. I'll show you. There's the first set of chapters, the second, and it's, you know, pictures, testimonials, and then it's interactive in the end. So in the end of the book, called the last section is called the domino theory, section 4. It actually shows you how to complete your plan, how to write it out. You write it all out. Then you use QR codes to understand how to, and then it goes through every single cause of tinnitus that I'm aware of, and just shows you how to reverse it step by step. All the causes of tinnitus, step by step. How to get rid of it. How to get rid of it. There you go. It's everything. It's got my story, you know, it's got all that amazing stuff. It's got testimonials. It is the best book on tinnitus. It's the best book because everyone else's book is like, and I won't call anybody out because I think that calling people out on the internet is kind of pathetic, but every other book that I've seen, and the fact that people are still writing books on habituation is fucking retarded. But people will write books and say, oh, you have to make it your friend, or you have to habituate to it, or you have to not be scared of it. How about you just fucking get rid of it? How about you just fucking get rid of it? Isn't that a crazy idea? How crazy is that? Imagine that. So that's what I basically wrote this book because I was so fucking sick and tired of these assholes telling all of my clients and everyone else in the world that there's nothing you can do about it, and all you can do is learn to live with it. Jesus Christ. So yeah, get the book. It's amazing. Is grounding on grass that's been fertilized bad? Outside my house, I feel like they fertilize and use pesticides on the grass in my community. You probably have a higher chance of picking up a parasite because of the manure, and there's probably lots of parasites in cow dung. You can get, you probably need to do like a foot soak after you do that. You know what you should do, man? You should get, and I've been thinking about telling people to do this because you can pick up parasites from the ground no matter where you are. You can get these shoes that have built-in conductors, and they're like regular shoes, like they're not the most fashionable things, but they're grounded. So you can walk without having to be barefoot, and you're still grounded on the earth. You can just Google that, you'll find a pair. I would suggest doing that because I wouldn't be walking through pesticides and cow shit. I mean, that's not a good idea. My bad, just want to listen, might have a question. No worries, man. If you have a question or you want to come on live, you can do that, no worries. My girlfriend woke up from a nightmare the other night and screamed for a second close to me. It's causing a spike. Is there any action I can take? Yeah, there's things like cold showers, grounding, muscle release, saunas, those sorts of things tend to help. Remember, when your ear processes noise and you use ATP, you actually get the creation of free radicals inside of your cochlea. Cochlea is the word plural for cochlea, two cochlea. And you need negatively charged electrons to neutralize the free radicals. And the best way to get that's from grounding. You know, people talk about antioxidants, but that's really what antioxidants are negatively charged electrons from the earth. You don't get antioxidants from fruit. You don't get it from juice. You don't get it from plants. Again, you can't digest that because of the, I forget the name, but what the cellular walls are made up of plants are just absolute dog shit. What's the word that people always use? I haven't thought about plants in a while because to me, they're just so pointless. They're so, did you guys see, by the way, the other day, that vegan influencer died? That poor girl who was living in Bali, I think. And she was like a raw vegan influencer. Now, to be fair, she probably had a severe eating disorder. She was severely anorexic, and, you know, her friends and family were probably telling her, oh my God, please stop, you're killing yourself, you're killing yourself. And what do you know, she's fucking dead. It's such a waste. But do you think that those dickheads on the internet going, oh, you should eat nothing but plants, and meat is cancer, and, you know, meat is death, and meat will give you heart disease, when it's literally the opposite. If you want to get heart disease, you should try and get chronic systemic inflammation. And nothing does that better than oxalate, salicylate, goitrogen, and all the rest of the shit that's in these plants. Salicylate, if I didn't say that. Just total nonsense, just total crap. So she's fucking dead, and her parents have to live without their daughter now. It's very disappointing. So, you know, plants are just shit. Anyway, yeah, with a spike, give it time. If you do the right thing over time, it'll go away. That's basically how it works. We're lucky to have you. You're welcome. That's very nice of you to say. What if I don't eat any meat? Legumes make me sick too. I don't drink coffee, tea, or soft drinks. Why don't you eat any meat? Why don't you do that? Look, I've helped vegans. I've helped plenty of vegans and vegetarians get silence, but it's not easy. And also, if you live a meat-free diet, you're asking for health problems. I mean, you're just asking for it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's not a good idea. Thoughts, if I can speak English, on non-fortified nutrition or yeast. Yeah, I actually, Darren Schmidt talks about that, and yeah, go for it. I think that's a really good decision. Go for it. Thank you. Hi, Liam. What do you think about Celtic sea salt? Go for it, man. You need those electrolytes. Your inside of your ear, inside of the lymph, inside of your cochlea, it's actually a huge, it's a huge concentration of potassium. So eat those electrolytes, get the electrolytes, and if your electrolytes are off balance, you're going to have problems with your ears and your ear functionality. Which is why I tell people not to eat too many plants, because if you eat oxalate, which is like in every plant, and it's the worst plant toxin of them all, in my opinion, that's going to throw off your electrolyte balance. And as well, there's calcium ions as well in your ear, as well in the lymph. And what does oxalate do? Oxalate binds with, oxalic acid binds with calcium and creates crystals. So if you want to make crystals in your cochlea and you want to destroy your ossicles, the malleus and stapes with calcification, and you want to fuck the rest of your body and your thyroid gland too, go ahead and be vegan. But I'm telling you, it's not healthier, it's not better for the environment, it's not safer, you don't have a leg to stand on, it's a crazy religion, and you're making yourself sick. You can still get silence, but I just don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I can take you to the horse to water, but I can't make you drink it, you know? The cold showers, the sitting outside, taking in the vitamin D has helped a lot. Love to hear it. Listening to your advice has helped me lower it. Thank you so much. Been listening and following you for 2 years. Great. Should I sauna daily? Bit too much, bit too much. But sauna is great though. I need the book. Send me a message. I have tinnitus, my hearing in my okay. You got hearing loss in your left ear, I think you said. Would you recommend reading the Phoenix Protocol? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a fantastic book. August Dunning is amazing. He's excellent. Have you heard of Cortixi? Is that like a tinnitus supplement or something? Or hi Liam. Hey, how you doing? Phoenix Protocol saved my life, recommended by Liam. How you doing, Noel? Your book's on the way, by the way. Does the course help with headaches too? Look, I can't even technically say that the course can do anything legally, I guess, but I can tell you that people who followed my advice have gotten rid of anxiety, arthritis, insomnia, narcolepsy, anxiety, depression, headaches, migraines, posture problems, digestive problems, sexual dysfunction have gotten rid of, all this stuff. Because remember, I'll say it again, this course, you know, Triumph Over Tinnitus 3, and by the way, guys, you should get Triumph Over Tinnitus 3. If it's the best course for silence, it is. It just is. What was I saying? Yeah. So this course doesn't target the ears because the ears are fed by the bloodstream. The bloodstream is cleaned by the kidneys. The red blood cells are created in the bone marrow. So it's just a trickle-down effect. So if your bone marrow is not healthy, what chance do the red blood cells have to carry the oxygen required to your ears? If your blood vessels aren't healthy, how's the blood going to get through? How are the nutrients going to get through? If your fascia isn't working properly, how are the electrons going to travel via the fascia to the cochlea so that they can take part in the electron chain process, which is a byproduct, creates the adenosine triphosphate that the mechanoelectrical transduction process needs in order to transform vibration into the hearing. And if your nerve cells aren't functioning properly, how the fuck are those electrical signals from the cochlea supposed to travel through the vestibular cochlear nerve into the auditory regions of your brain so you can process it as hearing? When anyone says, oh, I got a supplement that targets the ears, I go, fucking scammer. Fuck you. If it's a nasal spray or an ear spray, you guys got to understand, there are people in this world who are sick, and they see a group of desperate people and they go, great, I'm going to take their money. That's like, unfortunately, basically all of the tinnitus industry. So if you see a supplement or a brand that's like specifically for tinnitus, and it's just a tablet or an injection or whatever, and it doesn't tell you to change your life, those people want your money. They just don't give a fuck about you. It's not hard to understand. My cousins have not eaten meat for 15 years and they don't go to the doctors. I'm confused, Liam. I mean, give it time. Give it time. I mean, look, you can take all these supplements and you can take, you know, all these gut flora things, and you do all these injections and you can take all this sort of stuff. But honestly, I've seen it eventually catch up to people. And also, I got to tell you, and I'm not saying that this is your cousins, by the way, I'm not. But I remember when I first came to Chiang Mai, where I am now, I came here to come to a vegan festival because I was a vegan too. That's right. Liam Boehm used to be a vegan, a raw vegan, actually. I mean, come on. We all make mistakes. And I went to a festival, and, you know, there was like these famous vegan influencers that I saw there, that I saw on YouTube, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Anyway, so 2 days later, I'm in the basement of Mayor Mall. If you guys have been to Chiang Mai before, there's like Mayor Mall. I was in a basement there. And in the corner, who do I see? These vegan influencers eating meat. Eating meat. So whenever anyone says, oh, I've been vegan for 10, 15, 20 years, I'm sorry, I just don't fucking believe it. I just don't. I just don't. If they're big and muscular and they have zero health issues, unless they have some crazy genetic mutation, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I just don't. Because all the vegans I know who've been vegan for a long time, they're not in good shape. Sorry, this is the way that it is. What are your thoughts on the correlation between circulation and tinnitus? Yeah, well, the blood flow that goes up to your ear is one of the hardest places for the body to pump blood to. So if you have a circulation problem, I mean, the best way to improve your circulation is grounding. You can go watch this movie, I think it's called Earthing, and they prove how grounding is the most anti-inflammatory thing that you can possibly do. So I would go get a pair of grounding shoes and just go walk in a park or sit in the park, because you know you can get parasites from the ground. It's not like that common, but it is possible. Cortexy, yeah, drops in water. Yeah, so as I said before about supplements that are supposed to fix tinnitus in one go, it's usually just total bullshit. Just total bullshit. It just is. Thanks, Liam. You're a legend. Looking forward to the book. Awesome. Do you remember the day the sound disappeared? You just woke up and the sound wasn't there. Ah, let me tell you about that, my man. So I was in Tbilisi, Georgia. So I'd just been in, what year was this? This was 5 years ago, over 5 years ago. I was in Melbourne. I just started going vegan. I'd had tinnitus and hyperacusis for 3.5 years. I was going to kill myself. I was a drug addict. I was drinking alcohol every day, and I was taking like pills and ecstasy and stealing money from my mum to feed the habit, you know, that sort of stuff, because I was just in so much pain. And my life was just like doing this, like just screaming down. My friends were like, what the fuck? It was awful. You know, because everyone's like, it's just a ringing in your ears. Why can't you just deal with it? It's just a bit of ringing. I've had a bit of ringing. Not like this, you haven't. When it's like, constantly, no one can, I don't care who you are, Jesus Christ himself would go, you know what, fuck this. I'm going back up to see my dad before my time. So, and then I remembered, you know, when I was young, you can see me tell this story, but I'll tell it again. When I was young, from the age of about 8 to 18, I suffered from severe ulcerative colitis. And for those of you who don't know what that is, and I think probably some of you do have it because it's not uncommon, basically it means that whatever you eat, you have diarrhea. So I was like shitting my pants once a week from the age of like 8 to 18. Seriously, I was not a popular kid. I was not a popular kid. I gotta tell you that much. And you know, we would go to the gastroenterologist. My mother's a nurse. We would go to the gastroenterologist, and my mom would say, like, what can we do? Blah, blah, blah. Is it something he's eating? And the gastroenterologist, in all his infinite fucking wisdom, the dickhead, would go, no, 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 it's nothing you're eating. What you eat doesn't have any effect on your bowel movement. Please, God, you know? So my mum, who was a nurse and like, you know, believed doctors, as most people did, said, okay, what should we do? And he said, you should take Salifolk, 500 milligrams of the sachet granules Salifolk every morning. I think it was 500 milligrams. I took two sachets. It was fucking disgusting. I hated it. And I can remember specifically my mom getting like a big chocolate thing with butter in it, like margarine or whatever, and sugar, and putting the granules in that and giving it to me so I could eat it because I hated the taste. So she's giving it to me with the thing that was causing my gut issues, but she didn't know any better. It's not her fault. It's not her, like, it's not her. This was fucking, goodness me, 12 years ago? I'm 30 years old now, so I never, yeah, about that actually. Probably, no, a bit longer than, like 16 years ago. And, you know, it was hell on earth. I fucking hated it. Anyway, so, you know, basically what happened was when I turned 18, I thought, you know what, I can't do this anymore. It's just, I got to do something about it. And I looked up on the internet and I found, you know, veganism. And so I was like, what the fuck do I have to lose? What do I possibly have to lose? And so I went to a raw vegan diet, and I was eating no carbohydrates, no meat, no dairy. I was just having like chia seeds, legumes, nuts, broccoli, spinach, kale, what else? Cinnamon, mint, grapes, watermelon, banana, you know, just the shit that like we get told is healthy, but it's not really healthy. It's kind of like a cleanse. So I did that for 2 weeks and I got 100% better. Little did I know, it wasn't the plants that made me better. I thought it was. It wasn't the plants that made me better. I had inadvertently fixed myself, but I attributed the success to something that it wasn't. What it really was cutting out all of the processed dairy, cutting out all the coffee, all the alcohol, all the carbohydrates, all the fast food, all the sugar, all the chocolate, all the Doritos, all the junk. And also I stopped drinking tap water too. I was drinking regular water. If you guys are still drinking tap water, just come on. You can do better than that. I wouldn't, like, estrogenic, you know, chlorinated, fluorinated. I mean, you're rotting your brain. You're really hurting your body. Don't do that shit. You should have a filter on your shower too. I've told you this before. You guys know this. And so anyway, I got better, and then I kind of went back to my usual diet, and I just stopped the processed food. So when I was 21 and I had my tinnitus for 3.5 years, I was about 24. I was like 24 and a half, 25, because I'm 30 now, so I would have been about 24 and a half. And I had tinnitus for 3.5 years. I hold on. I remember that, you know, because I've been to all these otolaryngologists, which is an ENT. I'd been to, you know, all of these specialists and these doctors, and I went to a fucking psychiatrist and psychologist, and I went to all these different ENTs, and one of them gave me like surgery on my nostrils, and it cost me $2,000. I was throwing up blood for 2 days, and it did nothing. It tried to give me drugs. It tried to give me steroids. Sorry, lots of emails. Lots of people want to say hi. You know, I tried all this stuff, and I was just becoming a drug addict, and it was just fucking awful, man. It was so fucked. It was such a bad time. And I thought, you know, maybe there's something to this veganism thing. I'll go back and do that. And I did it for a month, and I actually got better. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And so, you know, I kept doing it, but I plateaued because, as you know, fixing tinnitus is never just one thing. Ergo, the domino theory. That's what this is. So then I decided, you know, I'm going to go to where the vegans go, the people that I idolize, the people who are so smart, right? And I'm going to go to Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is where I am right now. Beautiful place, fantastic. Lots of meat. You should come here. I've actually got a couple of my clients coming here specifically to say hi to me and meet me. So if you guys want to meet me, I'm actually quite a friendly guy. You know, come and say hi. We'll hang out for a day, whatever. I drive a motorbike. I'll take you up the mountains. We'll have fun. Anyway, so I go to Chiang Mai, and, you know, I get a little bit better. And I think it's because of the fruits, and it's because the fruits are better and blah, blah, blah. Turns out it was actually the sun. And so then I see these fucking influencers eating meat, and I go, well, fuck you. If you're going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it. And so I do it, and I get a little bit better again. But once again, I still think, oh, it's because the fresh food is better, and it's because of the anti-stress. But really, I was cutting out the poor foods. I was getting more sunlight. So that's kind of how my story started. I was doing things, and I was attributing my lowering of tinnitus to certain things. I still thought back then, 5 years ago, I still thought, you know, oh, it's broken stereocilia, and I'm regrowing my hair cells. Stereocellular hair cells is the same thing. That's how much I knew. That's how stupid I was. When really, in fact, we know that, well, I know now that there's no real evidence that proves a correlation, or like, of course, no causation, but not even any compelling correlation that broken stereocilia actually causes tinnitus. Sure, you can break hair cells. If you are in a rock concert, or someone screams in your ear, or a gunshot goes off near your ear, you can break hair cells. But as far as I'm concerned, all that's going to do is lose you hearing and simultaneously cause you tinnitus via inflammation. We've spoken about how when your ear processes noise, it's so energy consuming. It requires so much adenosine triphosphate. And when you use that and you oxygenate that, you have to get free radicals. It's just how the process works. It's an exchange. And if you're not grounding, and you're not eating the right foods, and you're not exercising and sleeping properly, that inflammation is going to spread to your ear, or what's in your ear already. It's going to cause problems within the base cells of your stereocilia where the electronic charges go down. The mechanoelectrical transduction system is not going to work properly, and then you're going to have tinnitus. You can break hair cells, that's fine, but you're just going to lose a little bit of hearing, okay? You should always protect your ears, you know, be careful, don't be an idiot, but you get the point. Anyway, so then I decide, you know what, my tinnitus, so now we're in Chiang Mai. So now I decide, you know what, my 2-month visa is up. I'm going to go, I've always wanted to go to Eastern Europe, where can I go? And so I go on skyscanner.com. And for those of you who don't know Skyscanner, you can basically just click a button and it'll show you like countries on a list, like where's the cheapest places to go. So I'm in Thailand. I was in Thailand then. And it's like, all right, well, you can go to like Malaysia for like $50. You can go to like Laos for like $60. You know what I mean? It keeps going, going, going. And then Bucharest, Romania comes up. Or as they say, Bucharest. That's how you say it in Romanian. And I go, okay, well, it's like $800 to go there. I've got like $2,000. Fuck it. And so I book a flight. It's like a 30-hour journey. I had to leave at like 2 in the morning. It was brutal. And, you know, I went there. And then I went to Romania. And I was still in my shorts and my thongs and my T-shirt because I'm Australian and I'm an idiot, right? Never been to Eastern Europe in my life. Even though I lived in London when I was younger, I was born there. I've never been to Eastern Europe in my life. So I get there. I'll answer your questions in a second, guys. You should pay attention to the story. So I get there and I'm at the airport and I look outside and it's snowing because I get there in, I think it's, so I was in Chiang Mai in September, early December, because I was there for the Christmas markets. That's right. So I get there and it's snowing and I'm just like drawn to go outside. Like I just like had this feeling. I just remember like this warmth in my chest to go outside. And at this point, I can still hear my tinnitus. Like the flight was awful. It was like chaos. It was just, oh God, awful. So I go outside and I'm standing outside and it's fucking freezing. It was 2 a.m. in Romania at the airport at fucking Christmas. And people are looking at me like, this guy's nuts. He's going to therapy. And so I go outside. I go outside and I'm standing there in the snow and I'm just looking up at this because I hadn't seen snow in, I don't know, since I was like 6. And I look up at the snow and I feel my tinnitus go down. And that's the first time that I start to realize that maybe cold temperature therapy has a benefit. And that's why I tell you guys about cold showers and inversely hot saunas. You know, cold showers, cold plunge, sauna. A hot shower isn't really going to do anything. It's not hot enough. So that was that. So then I started doing cold baths in Romania. I would sit in a bath naked. You can even see videos of this, not anything nude, but from here up. And you can see me turn on a bath and fill it up with cold water. That's how dedicated I was. You guys don't have to do that. That's fucking crazy, but I was doing it. And then I, you know, ate more meat, started exercising more, started getting better, you know, sleeping well. I started forcing myself to go to bed at like 8 p.m., which is boring, but it helped. Then I went, the visa ran out there, and then I went to Tbilisi, Georgia, which is where our story ends. And I go there and I discover, like, I'm like, oh, I'm doing so well. I'm regrowing my hair cells, moron. Regrowing my hair cells, which isn't even, I don't think that's even possible, by the way. But not that it matters anyway, because there's no proof that broken hair cells even causes tinnitus, so who gives a fuck? So I'm in Tbilisi, I'm like broke, I'm living in this shit home. I get beaten up. It's just not good. But I was living my life again. Even though I can remember getting beaten up and I was like, that's freaking awesome. Like, it's just living life again. You know, boisterous young Australian man. I got in a couple of fights when I was younger and, you know, fun times. So then I look on the internet and I go, what helps regrow hair cells? What helps grow stem cells? Because one piece of advice I can give you guys, and this is very important. I've said it again and again, but I'll keep saying it because I always have new followers every day. When I started to really get results was when I stopped searching in Google and YouTube, how do you cure tinnitus, like an idiot. And I started searching, how does the body work? How does a cell work? What is a membrane made of? What is an electron? What is a proton? What is a photon? How does sunlight affect a human? What is grounding? What is fasting? How long can a human live without eating? All these things. How does a cell work? You know, what's in a plant? What is an amino acid? How many amino acids are there? Is cholesterol healthy? Is cholesterol unhealthy? What is the longest, you know, all these things about How does the whole body work? How does the whole thing work? Because I was getting results. So I wanted to know why. I was getting the results and trying to find out how it was happening after. So I stumbled across fasting, and I started doing fasting. And my first fast, I did 90, 24, 48, 72, 96. I did 96-hour fast, dry fast, hard dry fast. And after I finished my fast and broke it, my tinnitus went right back up to where it was during my addiction days. I couldn't fucking believe it. I could not fucking believe it. So, you know, I cried a bit. It was pretty devastating. But then guess what happened 2 days later? It went back down lower than it ever was since I got it. It was like, I only had like 15% of it left. It was amazing. This is like 6 months into the journey, by the way. So I only realized years later that when you're actually fasting during the fast, things are getting set up to happen. Nothing, you know, you're cleaning out some mold and some parasites and all that sort of stuff, and that's great. You're getting rid of the genetically damaged mitochondria via a process called mitophagy and mitosis when they duplicate and things. It's very interesting. Go and read the Phoenix Protocol. You'll learn a lot. But I realized that it's after the fast that the things happen. So if you've done a fast and it's the day after or the day of and you're getting much worse, don't even worry about it. You'll be fine, okay? Speak to your doctor first. So I keep doing more fasts, and I did 4 over the space of a month. And don't fucking do this. Don't do it. Over the space of 30 days, I did 4 4-day dry fasts. So I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not eating or drinking, hard dry fast, okay? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would just eat and drink, like, you know, meat and whatever. There was like a local store with like apples and stuff, and I'd have that. So I wasn't, by the way, I wasn't carnivore when I got silenced. In fact, I was eating like 90% vegetables still. So that goes to show that it's not all, you don't have to go, you know, carnivore. Whoever said you have to go carnivore to get silenced wasn't me. That's not correct. So on the 4th day of the 4th dry fast, on the 4th day of the 4-day dry fast, I woke up in silence. And I always get choked up thinking about it. I can remember that so fucking well. Just when you wake up and you instantly realize that you feel like something is wrong. Like you feel like there's, I can remember that shit so fucking well. Sorry. I can remember waking up and hearing outside the gravel under people's feet, the wind through the air, the leaves in the trees, the birds chirping. And I remember crying for like 4 hours or something. I was in this, it's kind of pathetic. I was in the fetal position like this. And I was so worried that if I moved, that I would, you know, like do some damage, or I would upset something, or, you know, or I would like do something with my stereocilia or something. But I eventually moved after like 4 hours, you know, when I ran out of tears like a bitch. And, you know, ever since then, that's 5 years ago, and I've never had tinnitus. And then after that, what I did was I actually did that whole trip again. So I went back to Chiang Mai, I went back to Bucharest, and I went back to Tbilisi, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. And, you know, I started my YouTube channel and I started telling people on tinnitus forums, you know, this is how I did it, this is how it works, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I really started to realize just how negative these tinnitus forums are, and just how they're so disgusting, and just how they're so negative. And, you know, you go through these forums and this one story sticks out to me. It was this person who commented and said, I'm getting better, I've been changing my diet and blah, blah, blah. And they were following my advice because my advice is the best in the fucking world and it works. And she said that. And this other woman came in and was like, oh, well, it's probably not going to work forever, and you're probably going to have to end up killing yourself. Are you fucking having a laugh or something? It's crazy how the people on those forums criticize me for what? For what? And they're happy to let, and no one called her out on it. So that's okay. So it's okay to tell people to kill themselves. That's perfectly reasonable. Even though that's literally illegal, that's fine. That's okay. But me telling people, have my free advice, here's my story, I'll expose myself to death threats and libel and slander and, you know, people talking shit about me. I could give a shit. I could give a shit. I'm a tough guy. I've been through lots of shit in my life, genuinely. I could give a fuck. But just be careful of these people on these forums, because here's the thing, and I'll tell you something, and I've noticed this in my life as I've become 30 years old and rather successful, to be honest, in lots of things. When you look around, everyone else has wasted their fucking life. It's unbelievable. If you look around, everyone has wasted their life. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. You know, they just fuck around and play video games and smoke weed, and they blame the politicians, and they fucking idiots. And these people, they don't want to accept that they are the reason that they're fat. They are the reason they haven't achieved what they want to achieve. They are the reason that they're broke. They are the reason that, you know, fucking you name it. Everything that's gone wrong in their life is they need an excuse for it. And tinnitus is their scapegoat. Tinnitus is the reason they're not successful, right? Even though you can fix it, you fucking idiots. So what they do is, when I come along and I say, hey, you can fix it. You can do this and that. It's hard. It might take a year. It might take 6 months. You know, I've had people come in who have had tinnitus for 10, 20, 30 years, and they get rid of it in 6 to 8 months. It's incredible. Shit takes time, guys. Shit takes time. And I said to him, you can fix it. Alarm bells start going off in their head and going, but if I fix it, then I have to take responsibility for my life. Then I have to be an adult. I don't want to be an adult. I want to play video games and jerk off in a dungeon all my life. I can't do this. So don't listen to those people. Don't listen to them. You can get silence. Go to my link in my bio. Watch the video. Buy my course. Yes, I have a course. This is my job. I do this as a career. I'm the best in the world at it. And when someone is the best, they charge money. That's how it works. So that's my story. There's a lot more to it than that. It's a very full-on story. No one else has a story like that I've ever met. And no one else has silenced as many people in the world as me, ever. I've never seen it done. So very fucking proud of myself. Speaking of, so we'll go out to the questions. Speaking of oxalates, it took me 3 years to understand why ligaments were not healing. When injured, always had lesions and a feeling of shards in my joints. Not letting my scar tissue to build up. Yeah, that's oxalates for you. Would you recommend cayenne pepper? Not really. I mean, you know, change your life, mate. Sound blast tinnitus like you. Aside from eating local meats and eggs, how about activated charcoal tablets, turmeric powder, chlorella tablets, black seed oil? Yeah, that's all fine. Just go easy on the turmeric because it's very high oxalate. Okay. Lots of emails. Lol, I used to be vegan too. Never again. Yeah, fuck that. So you know testosterone therapy can cause tinnitus. You know, mate, my best friend is a testosterone wizard. He's a genius. He teaches me all about like testosterone, free testosterone, progesterone, estrogen blockers, so on and so forth. I don't know if you're taking like too high of a dose, or if you're taking it in the wrong way, like if you're putting it into the muscle, like if you're putting it into the subcutaneous fat, if you're taking it intravenously, I don't know. I don't imagine it could really do that much harm, but if you take testosterone and you don't take if you don't take the accompanying appropriate medications, that testosterone is just going to be converted into estrogen. So I don't know how you're going with that. I'm not really the guy to talk to about that. It's not really my wheelhouse, but I know a little bit about it. You know, if you're taking testosterone, you should have at least tried for like a year to fix your testosterone naturally. Sleep, exercise, sex, sleep, exercise, sex, sunlight, no alcohol, plenty of meat, you know, lots of squats. That'll fix your testosterone, unless you have like, you know, some testicular injury or something like that, you know. Thanks about clearing up the vegan rallies. Yeah, they're all a bunch of fucking liars, to be honest. I'm sorry to hear that it's really bad. What's really bad? What if I start with eggs? Yeah, go for it. I mean, look, it's your life. Do what you want. But I'm just going to, it's going to be more helpful for everyone if I just tell you the truth straight up. I also have ulcerative colitis since I was 17, but it became severe. I'm on Remicade, not sure what that is. Have you tried fixing your diet? Liam, any advice on inflammation, what to take or do? Yeah, grounding and cold showers. I only hear my tinnitus when I'm in an extremely quiet environment, like head on pillow. I have 2 or 3, sometimes mild spikes. Would a light program help bring the nudge to silence? Currently, I'm a student. Yeah, it would. It's a great course. You should get it. I started eating a high-fat carnivore diet with a lot of grass-fed butter and brought my tinnitus down to a 2. Fat is so important. I know what I'm talking about, guys. That's why I'm the best in the world. Is the Bart K interview coming? Yeah, man, I'm waiting for him to send it to me. Like, you know, we filmed it, and he sent me the whole video, but it was like 13 gigabytes, and I couldn't even download it. And so I was like, can you split it up into smaller bits and send it to me? So I'm still waiting. So, you know, he's a busy guy, just like myself. We're all busy. That story is inspiring and gives me hope. I'm very happy to hear that, my friend. I had a COVID test and put a cotton bud up my nostril, and she hurt me. Now 3-tone noise in my ear, headaches, face and eye. What if I start eating eggs or take horse paste? What's that? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have looked into what they put on the tip of those COVID swabs. It's not just a swab. There's a lot of shit on the tip of them. You're probably going to need something like carboxy from Cellcore, TRS mouth spray, saunas, dry fasts. You've probably got some heavy metals and shit in your body. Eating eggs is not going to fix that. How many milligrams should I take a day of grass-fed bovine liver? Milligrams, I don't know. But grams, about... No, you wouldn't want to eat it every day. 250 grams every 3 days should be fine. Just eat it. Just, come on, eat it. You need estrogen blockers. Yeah, exactly. How you doing, Liam? What's your diet like these days? It's the same, dude. I mean, I'm in Chiang Mai, so I just have a hot pots. Still very, very lean, very tall. Lots of nice muscles. Just eggs, eggs, meat, liver, pork, chicken, squid. That's it. Yeah. I can't exercise and stay in the sun. It causes me dizziness. I also have chronic fatigue apart from tinnitus, so I'm also exercise intolerant. You might have a Lyme infection or borealis. I saw a study the other day that shows that like 90% of people with Alzheimer's have a Lyme infection. So the whole Alzheimer's field is totally corrupt because all this information like Lyme, parasites, mold, you know, it's been around for hundreds of years. It just gets suppressed by these drug companies who want to sell these, you know, Rockefeller fucking created petro-based, you know, drugs. It's crazy when doctors will prescribe these dangerous drugs to people, and when someone like me says, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should do this instead, and they go, what would he know? He didn't go to university. Yeah, I didn't get fucking indoctrinated into your bullshit belief system, idiot. Ivermectin is the horse space, all right? Does taking mushrooms have any good results for tinnitus? You mean like psilocybin? I probably wouldn't do that, man. You recommend iodine. What does that do exactly? Okay, in your thyroid gland, so you have your parathyroid gland and your thyroid gland, you have iodine receptors. Iodine is an essential trace mineral. Essential means that you need it, but your body doesn't make it, okay? So for example, cholesterol would not be essential because your liver makes 70% of your cholesterol requirements for your body. Ergo, you need cholesterol. Ergo, veganism is a fucking mistake. When you don't have enough iodine, or you have too many of the other halides, because you look at the periodic table of elements, you have different families, right? halides, you have fluoride, bromine, iodine, and a couple of other ones as well. Bromine is a big one. Bromine is in flour, brominated flour. Bromine is in medications. Bromine is in your bed. Bromine is in your clothes. It seeps in through your skin and when you eat, flour and stuff. So don't go and fucking tell me how, oh, Liam, I can eat this bread because it's healthy, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. It's not healthy. It's got shit in it. End of story. End of story. Okay. Just eat the food I tell you to eat. That's it. I mean, not trying to bully you. You can do what you want. But if you want to have tinnitus forever, then just go eat the bread. That's fine. But the bromine, the molecules of bromine will get into the iodine receptors. It'll kick out the iodine because the electron, it's got a similar electron makeup, and the iodine receptors don't really know that it's the wrong molecule. So it kicks out the iodine, the bromine gets in, and it causes problems with your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now, what is your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system? Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight, and flight response that makes you freak out. Your parasympathetic nervous system helps you relax and stay calm. So think about cortisol, epinephrine, shock, fear, anger, rage. Like if you're a person who gets really angry at small things and flies off the handle, and someone walks by and they're talking too loudly, you're trying to work and it annoys you, you probably have something, it really gets to you. You probably have a problem with your thyroid glands. That helps regulate your adrenal glands, which sit above your kidneys, in a big vat of fat, by the way. That's a good message for the vegans. Your heart sits in a chamber of fat. Your kidneys sit in a chamber of fat. Most of your brain is fat, almost 100%. Your nervous system is almost 100% fat. Your eyes are mostly fat. Your eyes are part of the nervous system. Every single cell in your body, except for red blood cells, sit in a chamber of fat. Let's cut the shit. Let's eat some meat. Let's be humans. Let's use our brains. Let's eat the meat. Okay. So that's when you have iodine, okay, and every single cell in your body except for red blood cells needs iodine, not just your thyroid gland. You might go to an endocrinologist who, again, has been indoctrinated and says, oh, if you have too much iodine, it's bad for you. Iodine's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. I'm a fucking idiot. Take the iodine. It's good for you. Lugol's iodine, selenium. It's good stuff. You can't even overdose on iodine. It's impossible. Again, I have to legally say, unfortunately, speak to your doctor first, but it is what it is. If I'm not mistaken, iodine and selenium are mineral recommended, which is funny enough is part of trace minerals due to filtered water. Yeah, there you go, exactly. The local naturopath is doing methylene blue IV. That's interesting. I haven't looked into it too much, mate, but I'm not against it. Do you still avoid loud noise? I miss going to concerts and gatherings with friends and family because my tinnitus spikes like crazy. Have you tried using earplugs? I don't really go to concerts. I don't like it. I'd rather work, man. I'd rather do something productive. I mean, go to a concert if you want to, but I don't get it. How many cold showers a week? Do as many as you want. I do cold showers every day. Okay, good. Do you lash out and eat sweets, Liam? Just wondering if it's okay sometimes. I smoke cigars. That's kind of my thing that I like. I don't really like, like 2 weeks ago or something, I had some chocolate. I was with a friend and I laid down in my bed and I passed out because I thought I was going to puke. So it's not my thing. I just have meat, cigars, some plants sometimes, like carbohydrates and things like that. But, I'm not going to have sweets. It's not even food. It's not even food. It's just like, I mean, it's got melted down horse gelatin in it, I think, but it's not even food, to be honest. All right, guys, if anyone has any more questions, let me know. What's the mechanism of perceived increased tinnitus volume when one plugs their ears? Is this common? Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so if you have tinnitus, let's say I have tinnitus now, which I don't. Let's say you have tinnitus and I did this. Of course, I'm going to hear it more because there's no external noise to block out the sound. It's like when you get an audiogram and you sit in the soundproof booth and you put the headphones on in the soundproof booth, the perceived sound of your tinnitus will be louder because there's nothing else to drown it out. So that's what happens there. Thanks, brother. You're welcome, my friend. If anybody wants to get my book, send me a message. If anybody wants to get my course, which I'm in the Facebook group helping people out, send me a message. There's also a tinnitus pal is basically done, and that'll be like $40 a month, and you can come in. We're going to do one live stream a week. You can talk to me. It's going to be awesome. How to test for heavy metals, mold, or Lyme, like accurate tests, not basic ones. They showed negative many times. That is a good question, my friend, because the problem with regular testing with heavy metals is heavy metals live in the intracellular. So they live inside of the cells, and blood tests often miss that. I'm not really a Lyme expert, or I know a bit about heavy metals actually, but in terms of testing, there's a girl on Instagram who I did an interview with. She interviewed me, and her name is Bianca's Holistic Way. Ask her about Lyme disease, because she's like one of the best people on Lyme in the world. She's amazing. She's also Australian, so good for us. Once you reduce or quit processed sugars, you can no longer crave. If you're having sugar cravings, your body is deficient in something. Yeah, or you have a parasite infection. If you're craving sugar and chocolate and alcohol and drugs all the time, chances are you have a parasitic infection. That's just the way that it is. Thanks, Liam. You're welcome, my friend. What fruits and vegetables would you eat once in a while if you had to choose some? No fruits. It would make me puke. Just like rice, like white rice. You know, it tastes good. I like it. White rice with like chicken and something. If you see, sometimes when you get like all this meat, they bring out like a bowl of rice, and it's like, why not? Even though it's going to turn on the Roundel cycle, you know, it's not that bad. Had all the good mineral and vitamin tests and all good. Love it. Did DMSA for many months for heavy metals. Look up Dr. Anthony Cutler. There you go. Look that person up. All right, guys. We're going to end it here. If you want to get involved with me somehow, you want to pay me for my time, or you just want to get a question answered, send me a message. Cool, guys. Lovely talking to you.